Hi, my name is Jonathan Klein. I'm going to present the Cincinnati Bengals sponsorship analysis and fan identification. All right, just a table of contents here. So a little bit about the Bengals. They were founded in 1968. Paul Brown, who for 17 seasons had coached the Cleveland Browns for 17 seasons before leaving in 1962. But he had the urge to go back into pro football, and so he met them within Jim Rhodes, and then they can agree that the state could accommodate two football teams, and so how he chose to name the Bengals, because a local pro team called the Cincinnati Bengals had played from 1937 to 1941, and the original name came from Hal Pennington after the Bengal stove in his mother's kitchen. And so, um, the slogan or the main saying for the Bengals is "Who Dey," and that came from Ken Anderson in 1981. In that season, he led the Bengals to a 12-14 record, and the Bengals began to chant "Who Dey." So that's how that tradition of Who Dey got started. The Bengals had faced the 49ers in 1982, 1989, but both lost. That was when Joe Montana was very big. And recently, in this year's Super Bowl, we're playing against the Los Angeles Rams, but unfortunately, they also lost in that game. But they're looking strong for this season. And so their sponsorships are very big locally and nationally. The local companies like Fifth Third Bank, Gold Star Chili, recently Alta Fiber, which was formerly Cincinnati Bell, and then they also have national brands like Papa John's, Pepsi, and Kroger. And recently they had lost a major sponsor, TriHealth, right after the Super Bowl. And so the background of this project is the Cincinnati Bengals want to know whether if the fans identify their categorical sponsors and there's a particular population that identifies the sponsor. So the objective is the survey was developed by Anki sports marketing students and Bridget Nichols as a way to annually gauge how well the Cincinnati area residents can identify official team sponsors. And we also wanted to gauge some attitude and fan identification levels. And so using Qualtrics as a cross-sectional survey, then putting the data to the data software JASP and look for certain patterns and see if the people who took the survey have fan identification through the Cincinnati, excuse me. So to those who are fans, they are more likely to identify official sponsors to the Cincinnati Bengals than non-fans. Male fans are more likely to identify the sponsors better than female fans, and to those who live in Cincinnati, they identify more with the Bengals sponsorships. The sample profile we took is we measured the official sponsors of the Bengals as well as other popular brands that are not affiliated with the Bengals. We looked at age, gender, income, um, whether people are fans, how they feel about the Bengals, if they win or lose, if they go to games at Paul Brown Stadium, if they live in Cincinnati, if they have children, what's their income, their fan identification, their attitude of the Bengals, whether they're optimistic or pessimistic, if they're likely to purchase the sponsored brands, if they live far away from Paul Brown Stadium, and if they're married. So some research findings. How do the residents of Cincinnati know the official sponsors of the Bengals? And these are the percentages of fans who live in Cincinnati who identify these sponsors. With the biggest one being, let's see, will be with Kroger at 75%. Kroger is a very well-known grocery store around the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. It's based out in Cincinnati, and so, but fans of the Bengals who also live in Cincinnati can identify the official chili, which is Gold Star, the paper, Procter& Gamble, the grocery, Kroger, the bank, Fifth Third Bank, soup, which will be Campbell's, and the beer, which will be Bud Light. And do male or female fans identify the Bengals sponsors better than the other? Well, some of the data here shows that some of the males identify with some brands and females as well. And so, but from the amount of how much male fans associated with the sponsors, they could identify the sponsors better than the women with cars, pizza, the tablets, the restaurant, the candy, and the soup. And so that shows that males, pay more attention to the sponsors than females do. How likely are these brands going to be bought by fans? All brands are equally um, are equally likely to be bought by the fans of the Bengals, and so they're gonna be they're not gonna be persuaded one way or the other. If they're gonna be bought because they are sponsors of the Bengals. If the Bengals are sponsored by them, they think that's great. They're just gonna buy no matter what the brand is. Key findings: does a fan's income level affect whether or not they buy season tickets? For season ticket holders, there's only one person who is not a fan and makes less than $10,000 and is a season ticket holder, and only 7% of the fans are season ticket holders. And so for Bengals, that's low. That's pretty low in terms when you think about it. Not a whole lot of fans, even those who are making well over $100,000 a year, are season ticket holders with the Bengals. Does distance play a factor? Fans who live 11 to 20 miles away from Pub Rock Stadium, 69% of them are fans. Fans who live like 40 to 50 miles away, 50% are fans, with only 3% being accounted for people living in 41 to 50 miles away. People live 11 to 20 miles away, watch football, and 42% of the fans do watch football as well. And so, a fan's background, they can affect the likeness to buy a product as well. And so, we go through 4 different fan backgrounds, like family traditions, living in the Cincinnati area, they care about the team's success, or the favorite player, past or present, was on the team. And fans seem to care more about the family and the community aspect of the Bengals rather than the performance and the players for the team. But that could have changed this past year because we made it to the Super Bowl, and so now we really start to care a little bit more about our team's performance. And so some marketing recommendations I would put down is, one thing I had trouble was looking for like the official sponsors on like the Bengals website, and so the team needs to expose their sponsors a little bit more, I think, and so list out the team's official sponsors on the website, market more for like their hard seltzer, the health partners, pizzas, tablets, the restaurant, and the candies. Target the female population more to increase more brand exposure. Target the non-fans that are more likely to buy the brands that sponsor the Bengals. May produce incentives for the season ticket holders to increase sales for them. Offer special nights or events for people who live in that 41 to 50 miles away from Paul Brown Stadium. continue to enhance the family or fans' enjoyment at the game with like concessions, um, tailgating, or other events that keeps families and fans wanting more. And here's some new survey questions that I set out, and I got the Qualtrics survey right here. And so, to put it all together, fans identify the brands of the Bengals better than non-fans. Fans who live closer to Paul Brown Stadium identify with these sponsors better than those who live further away. More well-known brands can be confused, which is the official sponsor. So say like Gold Star and Skyline Chili. A lot of people, I feel like, get those too confused because Skyline is the official chili of the Cincinnati Reds, but it's not the official chili of the Bengals. Gold Star is. And so, and also, a lot of people don't know the official car sponsor of the Bengals, which I found out it was Kia. But from the data on JASP, most people said it was Chevy. And so, and more fans look more towards the event itself rather than the players and their team's performance. There's my references, and there's the tables. And that will do it.